We will be learning how to sew this beautiful blouse that you are seeing on your screen in this video. Now, this blouse has a front that is different from the back. The front is a 7 pieces blouse, while the back is a peplum blouse with 720-degree flare, and it has half length. You can see that there is no half length at the front, like there's no half cut at the front. It only has half cut at the back with peplum, and the front is a straight 7 pieces blouse. To understand this better, this is a sewing tutorial. I have uploaded the drafting and cutting of the front panel of this blouse in the previous video that I uploaded. The link to it is currently showing up, and it is also down in the description box. You might need to watch that video so that you will understand better where I'm coming from. In that video, I drafted this front panel on pattern paper, and then I transferred it to the main fabric, to this Ankara in that video. So this video is just a sewing tutorial and how I was able to cut the back panel. The first thing I did after transferring my pattern to the main fabric was to add my wadding, which is press pad, to the front panel. That's the 7 pieces. And to the down of the front panel, I added thick gum stay to it so that it will give me that firmness that I want, so that the flare will come out well and stand very well. So I had to gum thick gum stay to it. The next is to start joining. I started with joining one side first before moving to the other side. So to the center front, I joined panel 2 to it on one side, and then to the panel 2 that I joined panel 3 to it, and I joined panel 4 to it. So I joined one side before moving to the other side. So on the other side, this is me just trying to measure so that I can be sure I'm on track. And our bust is of divided by 4 is 9. This what I have here is like 11, so I'm on track. I still have sewing allowance. On the other side, I joined panel 1 to center front. I joined panel 2, I joined panel 3, and this is the 7 pieces for the front. You can see how full this flare is. Then I joined the lining as well, just the same way I joined the Ankara fabric. I joined the lining, and after joining, this flare is very full. I gave this a very good press. I pressed all the places where I joined it, and I rearranged it. At this point, I proceeded to recutting the neckline, because you will need to recut the neckline at this point. So I marked my shoulder first. I added half-inch allowance for attaching the sleeve to the shoulder. I recut the armhole, and then I slanted my shoulder slope, and I recut the neckline. She does not want the neckline as low as the style that I'm recreating, so I just used 4 for her. And at the lower part of this front panel, I had to crop the side so that it's not just sharp and pointy the way it is before I cropped it. And for the lining, I reduced it with 1 inch. You know, I'm turning it down, and when you are turning, the lining that you're using to turn has to be a little bit shorter than the main fabric. So after this, I turned the down first. I dragged the lining up, and I turned the neckline. You know, while turning, the right side of the lining has to face the right side of your actual fabric. I turned this down with hemming gum, so there is nothing like the lining is shifting or is showing from the down. I used hemming gum, and then I pressed it so the anchor already stuck to the lining. On the neckline as well, I used hemming gum. And that is it for the front panel. I kept it aside and proceeded to cutting my princess that bustier for the back. So I divided a bust by 4, which is 9, and I added 4 inches allowance. This 4 inches allowance includes the zip allowance at the back, and allowance for turning, and allowance for joining. For the half length, I added 1.5 inch allowance. The half length is 15. I measured 16.5, and I cut that out from the hole of the lining. I'm cutting this back panel on the lining first before transferring it to the fabric, because one side of it is velvet while the other side is Ankara. And then I proceeded to marking my princess dart bustier, my princess dart for the back panel. Then I transferred body measurement into this. I marked out the neckline. It is a round neck as well. Neck depth of 2, neck width of 7, on fold of 2. I marked 3.5, and I transferred this to the velvet. For the velvet, I interfaced it as I was cutting it because I don't want it to be rolling. That's the way velvet used to roll. And I cut for the Ankara part as well. I joined right side facing right side. I joined the velvet to the Ankara. Then I joined the lining, and after joining, I gave it a very good press, and this is where I am at this point. The next is to turn the neckline, the zip side, and the shaping side. I turned the neckline with hemming gum so that it can stick down to, like the lining can stick down to my actual fabric, and I proceeded to cutting the peplum and attaching the peplum to the half length. Now this is a 720-degree flea, a 720-degree peplum. I'll be uploading a video on how I was able to cut and turn this peplum in my next tutorial. You should check that out. After attaching the peplum to the half length, I fixed my zip, and after fixing zip, the next I did was to join the shoulder line. I joined the front panel to the back panel on the shoulder line. I turned the shoulder line, and when I was done doing this, I cut the sleeve. She does not want her sleeve as puffy as the original style as well, so I cut the sleeve. I'll be uploading a tutorial on how I was able to cut and sew the kind of sleeve that I used for this top. So after I got the sleeve ready, I shaped my blouse. I divided her bust by 4, starting from the center back, which is the zip. I marked that. Then her waistline divided by 4, starting from the center back. I marked that. I shaped on that side. I flipped it to the other side, and I divided her measuring by 2 now, no longer by 4. Once you've shaped the first side and flipped to the other side. And at this point, before attaching my sleeve that I've already sewn to the blouse, this is what it's looking like at this point. It's already coming out the way I want it to be. And when I was done, I fixed the sleeve. I'll be uploading a tutorial on how I cut and made this sleeve that I used for this blouse, and then a tutorial on how I was able to cut this 720-degree peplum that is standing the way it is. I'll be uploading a tutorial on that in my next video. Once it is uploaded, I'll put the link down in the description box. Now, if you are still with me at this point, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can take my video, push my video out to the right audience. If you have any question, ask me down in the comment section, and as much as you can just help me share my video. You don't know who this video might be helpful to. Thank you for watching, and you can check out these 2 videos that are currently showing on your screen, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.